Guys, so today's video is basically just a quick garden update to show you what's growing. Today is April 1st. It's a nice day. It's not real warm, but it is really nice. And I started cutting the front yard for the first time this year because the neighbor cut their grass. Which, you know, when the neighbor cuts their grass, then once one person cuts their grass, everybody has to cut it because it starts making everybody else look bad. But somebody's got to be the first one, right? So I'm just going to go around the garden and show you what's growing and what projects we have going on and just talk a little bit about that stuff. So that's today. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'll try and keep it short, but we'll see. The first project that was finished today is this scarecrow, which she needs a skirt or a proper dress, but she's got a head and reflective sunglasses, which are kind of cool, and a hat, and it's all put together. Yeah, but you broke them, remember? Yup. Yup. But nothing goes to waste around here. When you were 2? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway. Nothing goes to waste around here, so sunglasses, a hat that was hers but got ripped in one side, and an old mop, which is now a wig, and there's my scarecrow. I'll just quickly go through my garden beds and show you what I got going. This is just my regular garlic, which is looking pretty good, pretty healthy, considering the seed garlic I planted was pretty puny. So there is a leftover red Russian kale that is probably going to bolt soon. I'll show you the other ones because they're closer. There's some broccoli next to it here, so after this has bolted, I'll just cut it out at the roots, very carefully take it out, and then those 4 broccoli can grow up there. This is a poppy over here that I saved from last year. I've got a bunch of beets coming up. It's just starting to get some true leaves. You can see there's some more over here and over here. So today I just filled in the spots where things didn't germinate. I put some extra seed in there, see if they come up. These are my 3 happiest cabbages. There's one down there that Warren had ripped up, and then I think a rabbit got to it or something. And then this one is also a bit sad. That one is just completely gone. I don't know what happened to that. And then there's one really happy purple cabbage. And then one tiny green cabbage over there. My elephant garlic, as you can see, is, well, very aptly named because it's getting ginormous already. This one is the biggest one, and I mean, seriously, it's over a foot tall and ginormous. I cannot wait to see what those look like when we pull them out. They're doing really well right now. I've got a row of potatoes here, some dinosaur kale, or Nirte Toscano, black palm I think is another name for it, but it's all gone to seed. Well, not gone to seed yet, it's bolted, it's flowering. I don't need seed for this because I have plenty of this variety of seed. So I'm basically just leaving it there for the pollinators for a while. Then I'll go ahead and pull it out. There's radishes and another row of potatoes just starting to pop up. Some more radishes. This is going to be a little patch of glass gem corn. And I'm going to put some pocket watermelons like on the corner here. And they can just grow underneath of it. Over here, okay, first of all, these blue and bamboo are going to be covered a bit more with some net, and that's going to be my bean tunnel for my Asian long beans. Here I have some radishes. Should be a small variety, like maybe some icicle radishes or some cherry bell radishes, and some snow peas. So later I will plant some cucumbers there, and then as it starts to get warmer and the peas aren't doing as good, I'll just pull them out. I also have some poppies starting here. I don't know if you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. Those are bread seed poppies. And that's a gladiola because I just stuck it somewhere because I didn't know what to do with it. This green thing is going to be a table trellis for my cucumbers. So the idea is I'll plant them on this side and they can grow up and across the top, and then the cucumbers can grow down through it. I may have to add another layer depending on how well the cucumbers do, but I haven't had much success in past years, so I'm not getting carried away just at the moment. I have some spinach starting to come up here. There's another one, some over there. They didn't germinate real good, just a couple of them. So I stuck some of my extra celery in here. So this is pink celery. I'm also gonna put some lettuce, one right here and one right here, because I have some extra, and then just harvest them small. This is my other celery, which I'm really, really happy with how well my celery is doing. And it's adjusting really nicely. You can see it's tall and strong. These are dwarf gray sugar peas on this side. And this one. There we go. There's a bunch of little carrots, which are gonna need some serious thinning. I also planted some more carrot seed today. This structure is going to house some of my tomatoes. As you can see, my my mustard greens are bolting, and they're starting to get little flower heads on them. So I'll let those go to seed and save some of it, and then I'll pull this side out, and this is where tomatoes will be. I've kind of decided to make this a table trellis combo. So some of them will grow up to each layer, and then I'll create a table across each layer for them to grow on top of. But considering the height of my tomatoes, I've decided that I should wait to create the table until after I've put the tomatoes in. That way I don't have trouble down the road. These are my, not chives, shallots. These are some of my shallots. Yeah, I have some more over here which have done better. It's a mix. These I think are mostly Dutch red, and these ones over here are mostly French gray, though there's some extra ones in the back that got transplanted. This is my patch of cut and come again lettuce mixes. Some of it's lettuce, there's musclane mix, has radish, arugula, mustard, and bok choy. And then there's some purple potatoes. I also have 2 broccolis here. One of them I don't think is gonna make it, but I threw it in there anyway, just cause you never know. So there's that one, and then I have some more, a little spot with some more beets in here. This is gonna have some beans on it, only on 2 sides, so it can create some morning shade for some of the lettuce. And then this is my other patch of, see if I can show you. It's my other patch of kale, which is starting to get, it's starting to bolt. That's gonna turn into a flower. It looks kind of like broccoli right now. See, there's another dinosaur kale. But I'm gonna let the red Russian go to seed and then save the seed because I don't have any more seed for that. And I really, really like it. It's done really well. These were planted last February or January or February, and they're just now bolting. So they're about 14 months old now, I guess, and they're getting ready to be done. But they have been so productive and so vigorous and resilient and all the other good things that you want plants to be. Got some more radishes there, and I'm gonna put a couple of okra plants here. I'm not a big fan of okra, but I got the seeds in a seed swap, so I'm gonna try it out. Yeah, have a patch of mini pink popcorn here. That was Gwenny's. This is some leftover bearded wheat from a couple years ago. I just threw it in there to see if it would grow, and it's growing fine. I may eat it. I don't know. I might just use it for decorations. This side of this tunnel is gonna have beans and probably climbing nasturtiums, and then the other side will be cucamelons and blue butterfly pea, hopefully. There will also be some more pocket watermelon in here with this patch of corn. And part of the reason I have the two corns on completely separate ends with tall things in between them is for pollination purposes, because when corn is wind pollinated, so if the pollen from one goes to the other, it messes it up as far as seed saving. So just try and create a bit of a barrier there. Outside of my bed, on this side, I planted some more poppies, and they've come up. I just scattered the seed. I didn't start it inside at all. But I've got a couple that have come up there. So those ought to be good. My apple tree, which hasn't really started to bud or anything yet. I don't know if it survived. Oh, there's a little bud. I guess it might make it. That poor thing is like, I don't even know, 8 or 9 years old now. Maybe 10, maybe 9, something like that. It really should be in the ground somewhere, but I don't have ground for it. This is a mulberry tree, which I really don't think that one made it, but I'll wait and see. Blueberries, which, like, you can kind of tell they're alive, but they're not doing much. They didn't do much last year either. Alright, so this is gonna have some summer squash on this end, but for now I have some radishes started here, so those will be coming out just when I'm putting the squash in, hopefully, or shortly after I've put it in, so they won't be competing for space or anything. This is gonna be a tomato cage over here. I have some carrots started underneath. I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna have peppers on this side. Here are some chives that I dug up and transplanted. They came back from last year. Kale that I started this year, the end of January. This patch is doing good. Another patch is not doing so great, but there's some red Russian and some Nero de Toscano. I've got some beets coming up here. And this is my mushroom field. So this all has mycelium underneath of the wood chips. So hopefully it'll give us some nice pine cap mushrooms in the fall. There's some more radishes. Those are a large green variety, similar to a daikon. Some more kale here. This trellis is gonna be for beans, green beans. Specifically, I have a little nest I found over in the woods that we just plopped it up there for fun. There's my other kale. As you can see, this one's doing all right, and then this one's not so hot. And then these ones you can't even see anymore. They got kind of eaten up by some grasshoppers, which I managed to dispatch. I've got a few peas down here, but they haven't done great. I put in some more radish seed today so that, you know, I'll have some more to harvest later on. Hello. Yeah. Wait. Sorry, I don't want to make you dizzy. I've got lots and lots of thyme. My thyme has done really, really well here. I made some simple syrup with it, and I've been putting it in my water kefir, and it tastes great. It also tastes really good on pancakes. There's a little bit of sage. I need more sage. Gotta go buy some sometime. My cabbage has not bolted yet, but it's definitely getting there. It's starting to, the stem's starting to elongate, and I'll get some flowers out of there at some point if I pull it back. Well, you can't see it yet, but I'm sure there's some flower buds in there. There's my carrot top, which is not bolted yet. I'm waiting on that. And just a few more things. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm trying to walk steady. Here is a huge patch of Chinese chives, which my husband didn't realize we had until I told him the other day. And now we're gonna eat those sometime soon with eggs. It'll be delicious. This is my pot with strawberries. So I have some that have pink blossoms. You can see there's a couple blossoms in there. And then these ones have white blossoms. I don't really know what the varieties are. The white ones, I think, are the ones that I pulled out of this yard and put in the pot with the pink ones. Pink ones are ones I bought, but I don't remember. It was a while ago. So this is going to be for squash, mostly. But I have some radishes growing in there right now. And I put some more radish seed on the other ends for later. This arch is going to have morning glories on it. Got a couple of varieties, so I'm gonna plant them on the outside of the garden bed and just kind of keep after them and make sure they don't climb on the tomatoes, and just let them arch over that. And then the last thing, which was a really happy thing that happened the other day, I just happened to be standing where I had a flower bed last year, and I noticed three, you can't see the third one, it's in the shadow over here, but I noticed 3 coneflower plants, which I had planted last year, and I thought they died because they never got any bigger than this, and I lost track of them in the mix of everything else, and they never flowered. So I was really happy to discover that they were just kind of chilling there in the grass. So I transplanted them here, and hopefully I'll get some coneflowers. Alright, so that's about it for today. Lots of stuff growing. There's lots of stuff inside. I'm actually thinking about transplanting one of my tomatoes early, just to see how it goes, because I've got plenty of tomatoes, and I have 3 of this one variety that are super tall already. So I'm thinking I might try and transplant it early and see how it works. But that would probably still be like next week. So that's all for today. Just a little update for you. And I'll see you all again next week. Hopefully something more interesting for you. But either way, next week, happy spring, happy quarantine. Stay home, wash your hands, plant a garden if you can. Hey, that kind of rhymed. Alright, see ya. Bye.